Hello, me little puppets, it's me, Esther, and I haven't seen you in quite a while, and for that I do apologize. But if you don't know who I am the project manager for Refashionista Sheri and Confessions of a Refashionista. So you know what, let's just jump into today's troll, because it's one that I know we've mentioned some things before, but I think a little bit more education might be in order here. So this person's name, I don't know how to say it. I apologize. It could be Maer. It could be Maer. It could be Maer. I don't know. I'm going to go with Maer. So Maer says, "Stop trying to scam money. You're white and blonde and pretty and rich. You need nothing." Okay, Maer. Once again, we have a problem with spelling. And as I always say, I don't understand that, because it fixes it for you, you know, the internet and everything. It puts a line, it gives you suggestions. So there's no excuse for spelling your or do or whatever wrong anymore. It shouldn't happen anymore. So, okay. That little bit of scolding about spelling is done now. Right. First, I don't know why pretty is in quotations. That adds a little bit of a sarcastic flair, I think. But okay, that's fine. And while, yes, Refashionista Sheri, she is, I guess, conventionally attractive. And years ago, you know, she was a model. So, I mean, we're not going to argue that she's not conventionally attractive, right? And she is blonde and she is white. So, yes, she absolutely recognizes those privileges. But just because she has pretty privilege, as it's called, and she's white, she doesn't mean she's rich at all. And unfortunately, there are some things, you know, that's happened in her life, and she has a very, very low income. And one of the ways that she can try to make up for not making a lot of money, of course, is by creating little courses and ebooks and all of these kind of things, you know, to sell to people, to not only help herself a little bit behind the scenes, but also to educate people and to teach them her ways of upcycling and refashioning, which is, you know, very, very simple and very out of the box thinking. And this comment clearly shows that this person doesn't know that much about Refashionista Sheri's background. And it is quite sad that people simply go and leave a cruel comment for absolutely no reason. Now, I'm going to get a little bit serious right now. And Sheri's never actually explained why it is that she moved from Germany to Canada. And it's now been, you know, more than a few years. She's been back since 2017-ish, that time. And Canada is her actual, you know, country of birth. But as you know, she spent over 20 years of her adult life living and working abroad in Japan, England, Greece, and Germany. And she never thought she would actually leave Germany, you know. She got married to a German. She had a baby who was born in Berlin, but then an opportunity presented itself that, while yes, there should have been the signs, it was very, very too good to be true, but at the same time, you know, I don't think anyone would have thought that this wasn't going to happen. So this opportunity came from a company in Toronto who wanted Sheri to move to Toronto and, you know, give her this job working on their website and then possibly on web series and everything. And she would be doing what she does, sharing DIYs and all of this. She actually did have a meeting prior to making this decision. She flew all the way from Berlin to Toronto, had a meeting and everything things seemed fine. She signed contracts, all of these wonderful things. And then she spent pretty much all of her life savings to move her little family from Berlin to Toronto. And after 3 or 4 months of living here, the company got sold to an American company, and any new contracts were then null and void. So she was just basically told, okay, see ya, kick to the curb, that's it. and had no recourse whatsoever. And, you know, since then, it's been quite a struggle because, unfortunately, Sheri's unable to get a proper real job. You know, she applies constantly to jobs. And one of the main reasons is she's old, right? She's 50, which means she's over the hill, which means she has all of this experience and everything. And nobody wants to hire someone if they're going to have to actually pay them a proper living wage, which is terrible. And she has even gotten responses from companies saying she is too experienced, which is a very crappy way of saying you're too old, right? And we'll have to pay you a living wage, which is completely unfair. So one of the ways that Sheri has to make her money now is she does clinical trials. And I'm not sure if you know what that is, but that is where they take healthy volunteers and they test out new medications on them. And you go into a clinic and you stay there for sometimes overnight, sometimes a little bit longer. And at the end of the day, you know, it's quite hard on the body. It's quite trying. But she absolutely does make enough money to pay some bills. And it's just a very trying thing. And there should be no reason ever for anyone to have to put their bodies through this trauma and do these kind of clinical trials. But Sheri's not the only one there. You know, sometimes there's 60 people there and they put you in almost like a camping situation where you have bunk beds and there's, you know, middle-aged people, there's students like university students, there's even older people, sometimes up to 75 years old, and they're having them climb up and sleep on top bunks. There's 6 people in a tiny room. Oh, it's very unpleasant. You have to have your blood taken a lot. The last one Sheri actually did left her quite bruised, and it was a very painful one at the end of the day. But unfortunately, you know, being a refashionista doesn't pay a lot of money, and it doesn't completely cover all of the bills. And Sheri does have people to support, and that definitely does help doing these kind of things. And as I said, she's not the only one there, you know. So when somebody thinks she's rich, I don't understand where that comes from. Why is that? Because she's articulate. You know, she did used to be a teacher. She is very articulate, and she is educated. Is it because she doesn't look dirty and homeless? Well, why should she? You know, she works very, 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 very hard on what she does, and she gives so much of herself to this cause, I guess, to her life's work, and she gets paid very, very little from YouTube, and almost nothing if she does a collaboration. You know, they don't want to pay you anything. And as soon as you mention, hey, these are my rates, because it takes me quite a few hours, days, weeks sometimes to create a video, and I'm not going to do that in exchange for your product that doesn't pay bills, you know, they don't contact you ever again. Sheri, as yet, has not reached that level, you know, and it's very, very sad, because she's been doing this now for over a decade. And this is why it is so, so very, very important for you to subscribe and share and comment, because that is what tells the algorithm, the bots, the computers, that Sheri is doing something that is worthwhile and therefore needs to be pushed out to more people. And these are things that cost nothing to do. They cost you nothing but maybe a second, maybe 5 seconds to leave a comment, you know, just leave an emoji. And it really, really does help, you know. And at the end of the day, I do think it is very unfair for people to just assume from the look of someone or by how they speak or whatever, that they have a lot of money, because Sheri certainly does not. And now with how everything is increasing in price, it's getting harder and harder to make ends meet. And therefore, you know, she comes out with these new ideas, and she spends weeks creating new little mini courses that cost less than $10. She totally redoes her Patreon. So now it's only $2 a month, and she's offering free digital downloads included in that. So every single month she's creating little ebooks that she can be giving away to members who are paying the $2 a month. You know, this is all time, energy, and $2 is not a lot of money, is it? I don't think it is, but for her, it actually does make a little bit of a difference. And you also have to think, you know, she's doing all of these things at the present time for free. She makes about $140 a month from YouTube, and I'm not really sure what you think that pays, but it doesn't pay even her mobile phone bill, because Canada has one of the most expensive mobile phone billing plans in the entire world. And of course, you need to have a mobile phone nowadays. I don't know why my cap here keeps moving, so I apologize. I keep adjusting it. But anyway, I'm really not uncertain what more I can say about that, but it is incredibly, incredibly unfair to judge someone simply by what you think their life might be. And again, the fact that she came to her country of birth to have a great opportunity, what was presented as a very stable opportunity, and then to have it yanked out from under her. Again, she moved her little family here. It's absolutely crazy. It was very, very expensive to move, starting over in a new country with nothing. And again, this is just how it has been for the past years for her, and it is difficult and it's very hard to try to make it. She does, of course, reach out and try to get sponsorships. I mean, she's working pretty much all of the hours in a day to try to further her career, but it's definitely not what you know, it's who you know here, and she doesn't know anyone. And anytime she's reached out to, you know, the producers that she met when she won Battle of the Generations game show, nobody responds to her. And I am very unsure what the issue is, because Sheri would be absolutely fantastic on a morning show, sharing DIYs and everything. And when she does get a response from someone, it is with a price list, because there are a lot of shows here that are pay to play, as it's called. And for a 4-minute segment, they want between $4,000 and $6,000. $4,000 and $6,000. That's crazy. Sheri doesn't have that kind of money. She barely has enough money to, you know, buy groceries every week after the bills are paid. So I'm not really sure. Without your help, you know, she can't really get ahead. So as I said, please do like and share and comment and do all of those things that don't cost you any money, but really help Sheri, you know, to get pushed out into the world, which is what is important. And if you would like to learn more, why not take her big Refashioning 101 course, or her mini courses, or buy her ebooks. What else do we have? Or again, join her Patreon. And with Patreon, you get quite a lot of things, including monthly digital downloads. So all of these things combined, while they might not cost you personally a lot of money, it does add up for Sheri in the long run. And even something as insignificant as $2, you know, for her, it means that perhaps she can go get something from the thrift store or from the Carrot app, and maybe it's the bus fare even to go pick up something for free, because of course she doesn't have a vehicle, she can't afford a vehicle. And if all of these things combined can bring in that little bit extra money, it does allow her to continue doing what she is doing. And it also, you know, lifts the depression a little bit, because it is very, very hard to constantly remain upbeat and laughing when you kind of have, you know, the money issues hanging over your head. It absolutely is. And I know there are so many people out there who can relate to what I am saying. And I just want to say to you, I'm absolutely there with you. I know 100% how difficult life is right now, especially when you don't have that regular income coming in. And even if you do, things have gotten so expensive nowadays, it is nearly impossible to cobble together enough money at the end of the month to pay every single bill you have, plus feed your family, plus have transportation. You know, even if you take public transportation like I do, it still costs money. All right. Oh, my little cap again. I think that's about all we could say about that. And because I don't want to end this on a terrible, depressing note, you know what I would like to do? I have 2 comments here that absolutely lifted Sheri's spirits this week, and I would really like to share them with you. So the first one is from Odetta. Now, Odetta, thank you so very much. You are consistently leaving Sheri very, very kind comments, and every single one really does help to boost her morale and boost her mood and let her know that what she's doing is not falling on deaf ears. She's not simply shouting into the void. It really is making a difference. So, Odetta says, "You are a ray of sunshine. Love your personality and style. I have made many items thanks to you." Well, thanks to you, Odetta, Sheri definitely had her heart filled when she read that comment. And this next comment is absolutely hilarious. Now, this subscriber always has the most wonderful, wonderful comments. And they are from Europe and maybe don't have the greatest English, but that is fine because Sheri will always respond in German anyway, which is just fantastic. And Snoop Dogg Peterson says, "Ladies, hang on to your knickers. This came out absolutely awesome. And forget these trolls. People who talk and write like that can't even sew on a button. And you know what? You're absolutely correct. Und vielen lieben Dank, Snoop Dogg Peterson. Ich liebe dein Kommentar so viel." So, once again, you know, let's just go with, they can't even sew on a button. So you know what? If you yourself can't sew on a button and you're not really sure where to get started refashioning, then go ahead and check out Sheri's ebooks mini courses. You know, it's less than $10. And also, feel free to support her on Patreon for only $2. And you get those lovely digital downloads, of course, every single month. Now, you know, if you are in a situation like Refashionista Sheri and you can't really afford anything, that's absolutely fine. Why not support her by simply subscribing and sharing the tutorials with your online circles and of course commenting. And you know what? You see, when she gets those lovely comments, it really does help to lift her and keep her wanting to do more and share more, even though it is quite a difficult time in her life. And you know what? She always responds to the comments. She absolutely does, because she wants to let you know as well that it truly does help her to know how you are feeling about her tutorials and let her know, yeah, this was a great one, or you didn't like that so much. It doesn't always have to be sunshine and roses, you know. If sometimes the troll comments actually are the ones that push that pesky algorithm, aren't they? So all in all, any comment is good. Any subscribing is good. And again, it doesn't have to cost money. But if you want to support her a little bit, check out her Patreon as well as those brand new mini courses. And it's all going to be linked down below for you. And once again, as always, stay safe, stay well, and we'll catch you on the zigzag.
This is Confessions of a Refashionista.